90% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't lived the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and damn, they sent me where the life is be. The level 4 with depth and fight, the type of shit they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die, get chump. Never been a bitch, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get punked, and some sexually brutalized. I knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, bulldogs and skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF and Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. The Northerners was loony, quick to ride up on their rivals. Even Christians went to church, hiding knives up in their Bibles. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damoos, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pop rules, the Hustlers quick to roll, the gangsta Crips move. Whatever click you choose, you better stick to the rules. Anybody can get hit, so never get the shit confused. Dudes big as Terry Crews screaming, running for the guard. When your pistol goes, you gon' still be hard.
Say, what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. During those times, I accumulated some good stories and insight on prison. I'm going to share some with y'all today. If you happen to like this video, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe. Most importantly, hit that notification bell. That way, anytime I drop a story, you will be notified ASAP. You can hop on it whenever you're ready. Also, man, yeah, that's me flowing on the intro. Like I keep telling y'all, man, the flow is nothing like Curtis Blow. That song is called Still Stepping, man. If you want to go and check out some more of my music, go to my YouTube playlist, scroll down to gas stations, and you will find a lot of my music there. But that song is not out. It will be released shortly. So today, yeah, you see the title, man. And so I'm reacting to a video by a dude known as Splinter. I believe the name of his channel is Prison POV. Now he's a white dude, obviously, out of the city of Bakersfield, California. I've been watching his channel, or I have knew of his channel for quite some time. I believe I had shouted him out several years ago. Now, one thing I like about him is he's a funny dude. You know, he's kind of quirky. He's all over the place. But what I really like about him is his honesty. He's a non-biased person, and he tells his prison stories as they happen and as he saw them. Actually, initially, I was reacting to another part of his video where actually he's telling two stories in one. But then he went and said something, and I thought, well, you know what? That's just a whole reaction by itself. So let's get into that, man, and check this out right here.
And let me just parlay from that story and just diverse right over here and tell you how when I was in Arizona, the Southsider shot collar got removed. Right.
Now, you may have heard him say how he was in Arizona, and I mentioned earlier he's from Bakersfield, California. Well, sometimes in California prisons, when the prisons began to get extremely overcrowded, California started outsourcing prisoners and sending them to private prisons in different states. And so this is how he got to Arizona. Sometimes guys would go to Arizona, sometimes they would go to Oklahoma, you know, different states. You had to be a person doing a determinate sentence, meaning you couldn't have been a lifer in order to be eligible to go to another prison. Now, a lot of guys would like to go to these other prisons because they had a lot of things that, a lot of amenities and Xboxes and games and stuff that you couldn't find in the California prison system. So this is why a lot of guys chose to go out of state. And sometimes I believe they didn't even give you a choice. But anyway.
My eyes. And this dude was a crazy dude, man. He did this tattoo on me. And when he was getting ready to do the tattoo, man, look, we had PlayStations and Xboxes in there. So if you're in prison with a PlayStation and an Xbox, guess what? I don't want to... Not paraphernalia. Guess what? I can't think of the word. It starts with a P. Help me out. Propaganda. No. Guess what? Oh, I can't think of it. But guess what? Illegal contraband is going to flow if you have an Xbox. Guess what contraband is going to hit the block for you to use with your Xbox? Is that right? That's right. Porn. Porn. Because you can play movies on an Xbox, can't you? So, bro, porn hit the building in abundance. And the black guys brought it in, and of course it was black actors and actresses. And
now, real quick, you hear him say that porn hit the building and the black guys brought it in. Now, of course, the black guys doing time in that prison are not allowed to go and leave as they please. So basically what he's saying is the black guys had some type of connection with somebody who worked in the prison, either a free staff, a doctor, a teacher, something like that, or even a CO, and they would bring the stuff in them. I remember I'd done an interview with some other dude, and he was talking about how, you know, the brothers was getting cell phones and stuff in, and somebody in the comments said, oh man, that's a lie, because everybody knows that at all these prisons, the Southsiders control all the drugs being brought in, all the cell phones, and that's, you know, that's just ridiculous. Sometimes, man, I just want to come on here and dispel a lot of these rumors that you hear, you know. Now, in order to get some drugs or a cell phone or something brought in, all a convict has to do, and this is still quite difficult, is find a person who is working at the prison and be willing to bring in contraband. So by the one dude who said, oh, everybody knows that the drugs and phones are controlled by the Southsiders, that's basically saying that a Crip or a Blood was impossible of finding someone who was willing to bring the stuff in. So anyway, you know, and also a lot of times I'll see these guards and they'll do interviews, right? And also, a lot of times I'll see these former guards, they'll do interviews on these. And also, there have been times when I'll see these former guards in these California prisons who have done interviews on YouTube. And in my opinion, a lot of them try to keep all the secrets of the guards safe. They have no problem exposing administration, but you'll have many of them who pretend or they're unwilling to expose the criminal activities done by the guards who worked in prisons like that, you know. And so a lot of times you'll hear them say that they don't bring cell phones in and drugs in, you know. Somehow they mysteriously come over the wall in a football or a drone. Now, I've never seen anything like that, you know. That may have happened, but I've never seen it. But I notice how the guards are in many cases just like the prisoners in the aspect where they'll try to not betray anyone from their brotherhood, you know, just like the gang.
Right away, the Willpower got a directive that said no Woods can at any time look at black people porn.
I was talking, and so it's possible you didn't hear this important part that I wanted you to hear him mention. So let me go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit and start it over.
Guess what? Oh, I can't think of it. But guess what? Illegal contraband is going to flow. If you have an Xbox, guess what contraband is going to hit the block for you to use with your Xbox? Is that right? That's right. Porn. Porn. Because you can play movies on an Xbox, can't you? So, bro, porn hit the building in abundance. And the black guys brought it in. And, of course, it was black actors and actresses. And right away, the Willpower got a directive that said no Woods can at any time look at black people porn.
So now when he says the wood pile, he's talking about the white dudes who run in the car known as the wood pile. Now, a lot of times, man, you'll hear, and let me say this, historically, the wood pile is not necessarily known as being racist. They're just a regular car of white dudes who function as white dudes, not necessarily as skinheads or Aryan brothers, those type of, racist type gangs, and so they just all run, wood pile. But now, in my opinion right here, this order right here, the directive that he said all the wood piles got to not watch black porn, in my opinion, 100% racist, Now, as in other cars, right, with the Crips, the Bloods, other Hispanic cars, you will have individuals in those cars who do have racist feelings, right? And so obviously, in my opinion, like I said, that order was issued by someone who was definitely racist against black. And the reason I say that is, by saying that all the white dudes couldn't watch black porn, that's something that I just do not understand. How does watching black porn, if a person chooses to, how does that affect their ability to function as a stand-up wood brother? Now, I understand certain procedures and protocols may be put into place by different races and organizations to prevent or alleviate potential situations in prison that may lead to race riots. For instance, different races mixing, playing basketball, sports. Somebody get fouled real hard. Somebody doesn't like it. They may hit somebody of another race. Then his homies and friends want to jump in, race riot. Okay, I can understand that. I definitely can understand some races may want to prevent their people from doing business with other races, because in the event someone is not paid, people want to get involved. Somebody gets punched on, something like that. Somebody gets boo-bop, racial riot, stuff like that. I definitely understand, because no race is gonna let another race put their hands on their people. So anything that becomes physical, gonna turn into a full-out riot. But I don't understand how not letting your race watch porn of another race is gonna hinder or prevent a person from being a stand-up wood, brother. In my opinion, a directive like that is 100% racist, man. Because like I say, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to figure out, man, why the hell would somebody prevent their people, I mean, from watching race, from watching, you know, X-rated movies of another race? And so then, you know, I got to thinking, like, damn, man, you know, because I just seen a whole lot in prison, man. So I just got to thinking, like, damn, well, what, you know, well, why is that, man? So then I came up with a scenario, man. So just bear with me, man. Let's run through it right. You know, let's run through it right quick, man. So imagine you got a white dude on the yard, you know, and Josh is a good name. So let's go with Josh. You got Josh over there crying, you know. You got Josh over there crying, man. Then you got another white dude by the name of Polar Bear. And Polar Bear, he's hanging out with his homies, and he says, "Damn, brother, look over there, brother, by the weight pal, brother. Josh has been over there crying for an hour straight." And all the other ones say, "Yeah, bro, yeah, dude, yeah." So Polar Bear says, "Yeah, bro, I'm gonna go over here and see what's wrong with Josh, brother." So he walks over there, and Josh is over there. Josh is crying and stuff, and Polar Bear says, "What's up, Wood?" And Josh says, "What's up, Wood?" And Polar Bear says, "Hey, bro, I've been seeing you over here crying for about an hour, brother. Is everything okay?" And Josh says, No, things are not okay. Things are definitely not okay." And then Polar Bear says, "Well, damn, brother, you want to talk about it?" And Josh says, "Last night, I watched a porn movie, and it was called Ebony and Ivory, The Lust Between Us, and it was about white women who love black penis." And then Polar Bear says, "Oh yeah, brother, damn, I saw that movie too, brother. Did you see the sword on that black lord?" And Josh says, "Yeah, and that's the problem, and that's why I'm so upset." And then Polar Bear says, "Well, damn, Josh, brother, how's that movie upsetting to you, brother? It was just a movie." And then Josh says, "Well, I got to thinking about it, and I haven't been able to reach Heather in a week." And then Polar Bear says, "Well, are you sure she didn't go to your mom's or something? Was she coming to visit you, and she hasn't shown up? What's going on?" And then, of course, Josh says, No, some black guys moved into the apartment next to Heather." And then Josh says, "Well, what's wrong with that, brother? They're not in the same apartment." And then Josh says, "The last time I thought about it, Heather told me that Dante was going to help her bring some boxes in the house." And then Josh says, "Dante, brother? Who's Dante?" And then Josh says, "Dante, the black guy that moved next door that I just told you about." And Josh says, "Oh." Or excuse me, Polar Bear says, "Oh." And then Josh says, "Yeah, and in that movie that I seen, did you see the way that black guy was pounding that girl out? Oh my God, I'm sure. Heather gets on that meth, and she loves to screw, and I just think that's the problem. And I just don't want to be a wood no more." Because, you know, other than a situation like that, man, I just can't understand how the hell is a wood watching a black X-rated movie gonna hinder him from being a stand-up wood, not performing in his wood duties, whatever they are, or lowering the morale of the other woods, man. You know, so I just don't understand it. So in my opinion, that had to be 100% racist order. And if we just gonna keep it 100, man, all jokes aside, you know, you have a lot of orders, policies, procedures that's going on in a lot of different other races and organizations that blacks is just not gonna go for. Some of these orders make no sense. And one thing I can say about going to prison as a Crip, as a Blood, a non-affiliated black from up north, Kumi, whatever a person runs, right? When you're black, you have a lot more individualism than a lot of these other cars and races that are not black do not have. One thing I know that blacks are not going for, they're going out to a visit, getting some drugs in to hustle, to sell, to whatever, and then being forced to come back to the yard and have to tear a portion of that off to other, higher ups and stuff, as some of these other cars may have to do. Blacks is just not going for it. It's just not going for it. Of course, now, when a dude go out there and you hit for something like that, you going to come back and you going to bless your homies first and foremost because they're in there with you. You going to bless them because if they want to smoke, they can go ahead and smoke, or you may hit them with a little something. If they're doing bad, then they can go and sell it and put some stuff on their locker, some food, some hygiene, so on and so forth. But due to the fact that it's mandatory and you just have to do it, no, man, And that's the reason, like I said, also, you have a lot of dudes who point out that there are much less blacks on these S&Y yards. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true. I've never been. But I do notice when people mention things like that, you will have these other races all of a sudden pipe up, and they'll say, yeah, but that's because, these other races have much harder politics than you dudes, talking about the black dudes, right? And my comeback for that is, I don't necessarily agree that these other racist politics are harder. I definitely agree that a lot of these other races have politics that are more unfair, and that may be a big part of it right there, because I always say that many of us who join gangs as kids, man, as immature kids, 14, 15 years old. And as we go to prison and the gangs and the politics become harsher, after a while, doing a long time in prison, we suddenly begin to see and realize obvious things that maybe we didn't realize when we were younger, or we just overlooked due to our ideology or the dedication to whatever organization we had, committed ourselves to. But then, like I say, once again, as we get older, we start to see the unfairness, the treachery, and sometimes the favoritism or the selective politicking in some of these things. That may be more of the reason why you do have more races on SNY than you do have blacks. But anyway, man, like I said, I just did not understand why a directive was issued to the Woods that they would not be able to watch black porn. Like I say, once again, I couldn't imagine brothers going for something like that if a directive was issued to all the blacks on the yard. Hey, man, don't look at any X-rated movies that contain white people. Now, of course, you're going to have some silly dude out there that said, oh, you guys just be upset because you can't watch white women and all this old type of crapola, man. No, it's about individualism. Like I said, man, how we're going in the cell watching a X-rated movie of any race prevent a brother from coming out, prevent a person from coming out, prevent whoever from coming out to the yard and being a stand-up, solid participant or member of whatever organization he chose to throw his hat in. But anyway, man, y'all already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.